Hello and welcome back to my channel AB and Me. My name's Dawn and this video today is going to be about day trips and days out for your young ones and families. My suggestion number one for this video is going to be National Trust sites. So these are usually large sort of mansions, large houses with lots of land, lots of flower areas and plants, and you can pay to go for the day. You can get a membership, which is cheaper if you're going to go more than once or more than twice a year, and you can take picnics. There's usually tea rooms and restaurants if you want to buy something, and sometimes throughout holidays, like school holidays, they have different themed sort of fetes and festivals going on in the grounds. So it's really good. It's a bit of education, a bit of nature, a bit of wildlife, and yeah, just a really good day out. Number two. So next suggestion is zoos. So all kids love animals, and there's no better place to see them than a zoo. So in the UK, we are spoilt for choice. We have a few. The first ones that come to mind are London Zoo, we've got Chester Zoo. There's also Longleat Safari, and there's a Marwell Zoo that are near me. With the Longleat Safari, you can actually drive through and the animals can come up close to your car. It's really cool, especially the monkeys. However, usually the monkeys do break your car and steal something, so that's not so good, but it's really fun for the children. And usually at these zoos there is more to do than just looking at animals. They have little interaction areas, places to eat and drink, parks. So yeah, another really good suggestion there. Staying with animals, my next suggestion is going to be go and visit a farm. So you can get different types of farms, very small sort of family run farms, and all the way up to sort of really big sort of business branded farms. Again, animals love children. You can go around. Sometimes they have petting corners where you can pet the rabbits or feed the goats, feed the chickens. Sometimes they have little treasure hunts where you have to go around and find clues as you go. Again, food and drink, parks, soft plays, some of the larger farms. So yeah, another really good suggestion there for a day out. Right, so another animal based day out, and that is going to see a local animal sanctuary or aquarium. So in the UK, we have bird sanctuaries, lots of different aquariums where you can see fish and shark and jellyfish and so on. We also have a monkey world for monkeys, and we also have an otter sanctuary, which is nearby where I live. But yes, all across the UK there are lots of different ones. Have a look on the internet and see what's closest to you. So I'm not sure what activity number this is, but my next suggestion is going to be go and visit a local museum. So this might sound like hell for some of you. It might sound boring, but actually museums these days are really interactive, and there's more to do than just walking around and looking at things. So they usually have sort of videos playing, they have interaction corners, they have games for children. They sometimes have people come in and have guest speakers, and sometimes they have themes as well. Usually there's a cafe or a restaurant where you can get something to eat and drink, as they don't like you normally to take your own things in. And yeah, all over the place. There's quite a few in London, but they are scattered all over the place, so have a look. And when you think of museums, you think of history. However, there are more than just history style museums. There's military museums, military vehicle museums, there's sort of dockyard and marine sort of boating museums, science museums. There's all sorts. So have a look on the internet and see what you can find. So a little heads up or a little reminder, if you haven't done already, please like and please subscribe. There should be a little subscribe button along the bottom here somewhere. Thanks very much. So my next suggestion is a bit of a different one, and that's going to see a miniature town. So as it says in the title, it's a miniature town. So kids really like it. It's a bit different. You can walk around these miniature streets, seeing miniature vehicles, miniature trees, and it's usually a duplicate of that town that you're visiting in, or that city that you're visiting. So again, it's really fun. Yeah, and something a little bit different. Moving along to my next suggestion, and that's going to visit a heritage site. So the kind of example that springs to my mind is Stonehenge, and that's because I live fairly close to it. It's actually on my journey to go and visit some of my family members, so I often drive past it. So I know I'm very lucky because I've seen it several times. However, heritage sites are well known. They are spread all over the world, really. So it'd be great to take your young child or toddler to one. Just bear in mind, if they are quite young, they probably won't remember it at a young age. However, it's still a very good family day out, and it is safe and suitable for children and toddlers to go to. So next one is going to visit a castle. So there are castles in the UK that are sort of abandoned and derelict and a bit of in a ruined state. And there are other castles that are still in use, still are in operation. So suggestions, you've got Warwick Castle, Windsor Castle. There's a lovely old castle in Dorset called Corfe Castle. That has lots of history, and you can go up and have a look around it. So yeah, lots of different options. So again, have a look online, have a Google, and have a look where your nearest castle is. My next day out or day trip suggestion is going to your local beach. So as I've mentioned beaches before. So obviously, if you're local to them, great. If you're not, then you couldn't do it in a day trip. But yeah, getting outside, having a swim, having a play with a ball, getting in a little play boat, buckets and spades. It's just great. There is so much that you can do on a beach with a young child and toddler. Obviously, sun cream. If they're in the sea, make sure they've got their armbands and floats on. And also, what we have for the beach is like a little sun tent, so that we can get the little ones out of the sun when it's at its peak, when it's at its hottest. So yeah, definitely beach is definitely a good one to do. Theme parks and attractions are my next suggestion. So because this is a toddler or young child video, I would suggest going to a child-based or a child-themed theme park. So for instance, in the UK down south where I live, we've got Poulton's Park, which is aimed for children, and they have a young child sort of toddler section, which is called a Peppa Pig World. I'm sure you've all heard of Peppa Pig, and so yeah, that's a really great day out. But they've also got large gardens and parks. They've got food outlets. They've got a soft play area. They've got like a bird aviary. So there's more to do than just going on rides. So again, have a little look to see what's in your local area. So I'm coming to the end of my suggestions now, but my next one is country parks. So as I said, I live down south. I live near the coast, so we're lucky to have beaches, and we've got the New Forest. However, amongst that, we have country parks as well, scattered about the place. So usually there's woodland walks, there's wooden sort of climbing frames and apparatus that children can play on. There's usually a couple of parks, a lake or a river, so there's wildlife and ducks and birds that you can feed and walks that you can go on. The one I'm thinking of in particular is one called Moores Valley Country Park, and they have a little steam train that you can get on, and it takes you around the park. There's ice cream parlours or ice cream shops, and there's picnic areas. So yeah, just loads of fun to be had at these country parks. So on a nice day, it's definitely a place where you should go. So last but not least, my last day out suggestion would be going to explore your own country. So go to a new town, a new city, go to a new part of the coast that you've not been to, or if you're lucky enough to have small isles off of the mainland, go and visit one of them on a ferry. Yes, it's amazing how when you live in your own country, you go off and visit all these other places around the world, but actually there's so many places in your own country that you haven't visited. So yes, it would take a whole day. If it's very far away, you might need to make a bit of a break of it, make it a weekend or a short week break. But for the more local areas, you could do it in a day trip. So yeah, look at what the local attractions are there, what there is to see and do, what is family or child friendly, and go and explore, go on an adventure in your own country. Right then, so that brings us to the end of another video. I've actually really enjoyed doing this one. I obviously love doing activities and going out and things, so I love talking about this subject. But yeah, I've really enjoyed it. So if you've watched from beginning to end, thank you very much. And again, if you've liked and subscribed, again, another big thank you. I do really appreciate it. But yeah, that's the end. So I'm not really sure what my next video is going to be about. I've still got part 2 and part 3 of outdoor activities to get finished and get uploaded. And I do have some other ideas of other videos that I can do. So I guess until then, it's goodbye for now.